Hi and welcome to a brand new Riders Lounge podcast. I'm your host for the show, Steve Sommerfeld, and this is another Throwback Thursday. This week, with Clint Esposito on the Two Wheels to Freedom Rumble channel, we just watched a very rare Freestyle Motocross DVD documentary, and this one is called Flipped Out. And this is from Paul Taublieb, who was the producer and creator of the show, through Taublieb Films, and this is one of these very first docos on freestyle motocross in the old days. And this one, of course, it's flipped out. We're talking about the first few riders to ever do a backflip. Of course, Carey Hart, Caleb Wyatt, and Mike Metzger, the Godfather. There are a few more guys in there making some cameo appearances, like Rob Felly. Twitch is in the background. There's all the big boys. Drake McElroy. Everybody's there. All the old names, all the big names. It was an awesome video to watch. Not many people ever really got to see it, simply due to distribution issues, I suppose. But we are lucky enough, and I'm thankful enough that Paul was able to send it through and allowed us to do this Throwback Thursday. And it was awesome. Man, it was like bringing back the memory of what it felt like when I was watching it myself and wondering who was going to be the next guy to do the backflip. It felt like I was there, but at the same time, I was kind of feeling like what it felt like when I did my first backflip. And that was scary as hell. And then thinking about how fast the progression was from Carey Hart's first at Gravity Games 2000, then in 01, 02, X Games, and then it was on. By 02, 03, there were a few guys flipping at that point. Then Deegan was in the mix. There was a few more guys rolled in and started backflipping. It was crazy. The progression was so high, and that still doesn't take away from how gnarly a backflip is. And I was many years later before I finally did my first backflip. But hey, that's another story for another day. Speaking of stories, this clip basically sent us on this discussion. So if you want to watch this video, this is the podcast. As you know, you're listening to the Riders Lounge podcast. This is only Clint Esposito and I. This is our discussion. At the end of it, if you want to watch the whole clip, jump onto Rumble and probably YouTube, actually. Maybe in a week or so, he'll put it up there. But jump on Rumble, Two Wheels to Freedom or Clint Esposito, and you'll find it there to watch this clip. Now, the discussion is basically what I was just talking about. It was the progression. How fast did that happen? What then happened after the backflip? And what's going to come up next? Who will be the next batch of guys? We've already seen Josh Sheehan with the first triple flip. But it still took another 6 or 7 years after that to see J.O. Archer and Harry Bink do the triple flip at Nitro, at a competition, on a setup that can be done again. It can be replicated. What's next? What's the next progression? Like, will there be a new point now where we see triple backies, double backflip 360s, that Aussie roll that Travis only did once and nobody else has done again? Will we see other tricks like a bike flip over 75 foot? We've seen Clinton Moore working on that. There are things out there, but who knows who will be stepping up to the plate? Will this be the next new generation with big airbags and things like that? New moon booters and extensions to moon booters, the next gen ramp. Anything can happen. I can't wait to see what happens. So guys, sit back, relax, grab yourselves a Rothaus 10 and Zepfler alcohol-free beer, and enjoy the discussion from Flipped Out.
Day in the life of a freestyle motocross rider.
They love that clip.
Oh, man. That was...
Fun.
That was too short. How long was that? That
It was
was
only like 30 minutes. Oh, no, it was 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
There's a lot
Paul,
of credits here. Because there's another.
man, that was too short. I could have watched that for another hour and 50 minutes.
There's 2 minutes of credits here.
That's
If I do credits, it's like 3 people.
yeah, and John's one of the three. The fact checker.
Yeah.
Um that
That went quick.
it did go quick. That was a fast 50 minutes, and I just wanted to hear more actually. Like those interviews, they were awesome. The whole video was sick. And that just took me way back. You know, funnily enough, though, it took me back to then, and most of the time watching it, I was, as they were talking, I was remembering how I felt when I finally did my first flip. And
Well,
that took me 6 years. These guys did it in like 6 days,
yeah.
basically. Like,
I was thinking about the day I landed flips to dirt as well. And that
yeah.
was like freak out.
I didn't have a chance to freak out because I basically Clinton Moore, I was riding with him when I finally did it. And he's like, if you don't do it now, like I'm busy working on the 720 for X Games, get out of my foam pit. I think I might have told you this story one other time
Yeah.
where, yeah, he's like, you either do it today or don't. I'm like, no, I feel good. Let's move the ramp over. And I did 2 setup jumps and then I flipped on the third and he didn't have the camera out. So I didn't even get to enjoy the moment. He's like, fuck, I didn't film it. Go do it again. What? Okay. And I went and did it again. And then by the time I did 2, I'm like, oh, okay, that was easy.
Yeah.
Like on the first one, I guess I was just, you know, I wasn't even thinking. And all he did was say, go do it again. I'm like, yes, sir, I'll do it again. Okay.
Well, that's
But
good
yeah,
though. Because a lot of people freak out and then they put too much into it. And then they, the second one, especially if they take a break, I would always tell people never just turn right around and hit it again.
that's it. And I'm so glad I did do that. And that was completely by accident, just because Clinton never thought I would do it. So he didn't want to waste his like camera
Yeah.
waiting for
We
it.
didn't want to waste his pit time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that was an awesome video. I have definitely seen it. So to Paul Taublieb, who is I think he was like the executive producer of this and made everything. Like it's all from Taublieb Films, as you can see. Um, I was talking to him on LinkedIn the other day, and he's like, oh, "I've got this video for you if you want to play this one for your Throwback Thursdays." He's like, "It's called Flipped Out." And he's like, basically, nobody's really ever seen this. It had a really small run on distribution because I can't remember what he said, like if it went to DVD or if it went to a TV network, but it was only for a short time, whatever it was. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I've seen that. And he's like, you didn't see that. And I'm like, I think I did.
John
I
said
have.
that he goes, I love this one.
Oh, so John had seen it as
Yeah.
well. That's awesome.
I definitely seen stuff from it. I think
Yeah.
I saw it. It was a long time ago, but I think I have seen it like maybe once.
Yeah. To be honest, I probably did only see it once, maybe twice. Um, so in Australia, like I either would have seen it on Fuel TV. I don't think it'd be Fox Sports, maybe Fuel TV. If it wasn't that, it was like a few of us in Brisbane used to ride at Bayard's house,
Hmm.
and Bayard would just get all the DVDs. Like he had Twitch and Scummy and all Deegan's videos and Travis's videos. So we'd all go to his place. Like if it was on TV, they'd come to my place, and if it was videos, we'd be at Bayard's. So like we didn't have many options to watch anything back then. Like
Yeah.
it was tough to see it. So Paul's probably right. Like probably not many people really did get the chance.
He just doesn't realize how balls deep we are in this stuff.
That's it. He's like, nobody's gonna watch this. This is
Nobody's
just
seen
for
this.
the regular ESPN viewers. Oh no, sir. No. We between you, me, and John watching
Yeah.
on and typing in. Oh no, we've covered a fair bit.
I wish it would tell
Uh,
us how many views this thing has.
on Vimeo
Vimeo,
or
yeah.
yeah, well, I don't even know. Like, I wonder if this is even. I guess it's you can search for it. I don't know. Not sure, but
Like I said, there's no. It literally just says flipped out MTV to MP4.
that's it. Yeah,
And there's no description, there's no nothing.
I maybe it's a bit of a secret video that not many people will get to see, but yeah, there was actually
Let's
in
tell
the
them they
middle of
can't, so they watch this.
yeah, in the middle of that, there was one rider I said before, Rob Felly, and he
Yeah.
was the first Australian to do it, and he did it out in the sand dunes in the middle of I don't know where, and he landed in Australia, and I think because he was then at that X Games qualifier, and I don't know if I think he did say he landed it. Yeah, I think he did land it there at the qualifier as well. He didn't
He said
crash
the
out.
first one in the States.
Yeah, so that was a small little snippet of a little bit of history there as well. So he was the first Aussie, and I think the second was Jono Porter, and I think Jono did it on a ramp. So Rob Felly was kind of like the Caleb Wyatt,
Yep.
and Jono Porter was kind of like the Metzger. Like he was the one who worked out the ramp, did it absolutely perfectly. Like only a few months later, wasn't much later, and then yeah,
Well,
then
he was a
Jono just
supercross rider or something too, wasn't he? So
yeah,
I mean, he
yeah.
was.
Actually, well, he actually passed away only like 2 years after. Like
Wow.
he died in a motocross race, in a corner, I think it was. Not far from where I live.
Wow.
He went down. Yeah, he was like our Travis Pastrana in a way. Like Jono was just on
He
another
was a top
level at that
racer
time.
as well.
Top racer,
Damn.
top freestyle rider. Like he was just at the top of his game. He had the factory support. And I think he had
Imagine
his own
if,
team actually.
imagine if that hadn't happened. What
Yeah.
was he still doing freestyle at the time when he raced? And
Yep. Yeah,
okay,
both. Yeah, he was one of the first guys to go four stroke as well, I think, in freestyle. Well, that was '04. So yeah, there's like just these little snippets of little things. So yeah, Robert Felly was in this clip. Obviously, JP wasn't, but yeah, it's just it's so nuts that it. Hang on, no, what did we watch last week? Was it last week where we had Scott Murray in there because we
I
were,
think so. Well, it
yeah,
was the last 2 weeks we had
yeah.
some Murray sightings.
So is it? I don't know. It's a little bit shit for the guy who comes through second. So
Well,
Caleb Wyatt came through, nailed it, but he didn't really, he didn't get the rap that he should have. He was always kind of that little bit outcast. Scott Murray on the double backflip, exactly the same.
but again, is it more that they were just outcasts
Maybe they were
and
outcasts
so
and
they
they
weren't,
were there to prove themselves.
they had to prove themselves, but then still, they weren't cool in the industry. So maybe they
Yeah.
didn't get the kind of backing that maybe they should have.
Yeah, like actually, it was one thing that Caleb said in that clip there that not that it surprised me, but he was like, I was at all the competitions. I was always there from the very start. I might have been hurt a lot, but I was always there. Something along those lines. And I'm like, I don't really remember his name other than a few weeks or maybe a month or two before he went for the first backflip. Like I don't remember it. So he's probably right. Like there would have been a narrative, the TV, okay, this is Carey Hart, this is Mike Metzger, this is Travis Pastrana, that's Mad Mike Jones, there's Deegan, blah blah blah. Maybe just he wasn't catchy enough to grab the news.
Maybe.
Don't know.
I do think that like going into that qualifier unpracticed,
Yeah.
like not at least riding his bike around, I definitely would have tried to do something proactive so that I was less terrified
they
when
had
I
a
got there.
little bit of confidence.
Something.
Yeah. But I think I don't know. I think if you want to make your mark that badly, I guess he was going to do it no matter what. By the sounds of that, I would have a level head, I think, and have a bit of training as well. But it sounds like just everything was stacked against him, and
Yeah.
he just had to go for it. Pretty wild though. It took him a fair few shots before he, and a lot of crashes before he brought that around in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
But
For sure. What
no,
videos was Jono in?
oh,
Because I'm trying to search for footage, and right now I'm not.
uh,
I'm not finding really any footage.
I wonder.
John.
Probably free rider MX videos. If anybody who watches or listens, um, in Australia, probably if they've got any free rider MX videos, DVDs or something, they might have some old footage of Jono Porter. But yeah, I mean, he passed away in '04. That's 20 years ago.
Well, there's still a lot of articles about it, even from then, because one's like Jono Porter remains critical.
Yeah,
Update.
yeah,
Um, and there's just like bios and stuff like that. I did find one with, pictures and stuff. He was only 23. Had already
yeah,
started his own motocross team.
yeah,
Won a
yeah. It
bunch of
was
friggin' championships.
yeah,
Like,
JPI, I think it was.
yeah,
Jono Porter
exactly.
Industries was his team.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the memory. And yeah, and actually, Matt Schubring, who I rode with,
Yeah.
was Jono Porter's like younger protege.
Mm.
So on Jono's team, there was the two guys on Suzuki's was Jono and Shuey.
Ah.
Um, so yeah, that was wild, and I don't remember really how it happened, but I ended up with the ramp. So Jono did these kind of skate tours. Like there was a half pipe and freestyle that it was almost like a Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Up
Dude, what
Jam.
is with this guy? Like, is he from another dimension or something? How'd he pull all this off by 23?
I don't know. It was the Pepsi Max tour, and they traveled Australia, and they basically took the regular ramp and jacked it up and built it that way, and so Jono and Shui were jumping over it, and I ended up with that ramp. It's still sitting at my mum's house. That's kind of like that little tiny piece of that history that's still sitting there. But yeah, it's crazy to see how how fast that transition went from 2000. So clearly, then like okay, everyone knows it. I would have like I was not interested in it. I just wanted to jump a dirt bike at that point. So I don't have that feeling that these guys did. But by the time Caleb had landed it and clicked it into fifth gear, riding off towards the train tracks,
Yeah.
he claimed it. But how quick was it after Caleb that Metz had it, and then Nate Adams had attempted it, and then crashed his brains at like when he crashed his brains out at Metz's house, and then he turns up like 6 months later on a ramp greasing backflips. Like every jump was
Yeah, that
perfect. And
was
then
pretty
Deegan.
impressive, huh?
yeah, like that timeline is so fast. Like to go from this is a trick that is not possible. No, you cannot do it. To, all right, there's now 5 or 6 guys doing it, maybe 7,
Uh,
maybe 8, maybe 9, 10. I don't know, but it blew up pretty
Damn,
damn
his
quick.
cliffhangers were sick.
Who's that?
Jono. Big
Yeah, man.
KODs. I found a
Big
bunch of
KODs and
footage.
big cliffhangers. Yeah.
Yup. Big switchblade.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like a whipped out switchblade type of, or knack type of thing. It's more like a super indie. Whipped out Superman indie. Backflip.
Nice.
Dude, now he's tweak airing to the other side, which is very similar to the other one the other way.
Have you got this up on Rumble or
Yeah.
something? Like,
Yep.
yeah, okay, cool, man.
Ooh, a
I'll have to
low
watch it.
ass seat grab. All back down.
Ah,
Yeah, I found some tribute. Sports Tonight tribute. Do you know Sports Tonight?
oh
It's
yeah,
got to be an
Network 10.
Australian thing.
Yeah, there was only 4 channels at that time, so yeah, it was pretty easy to keep up with the news. Yeah, Channel 10, Sports Tonight.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's
20 years
so
ago now.
yeah, 20 years, pretty much, almost exactly. Um, yeah, so wild. And what was it? When did this video finish? This was like '03 was flipped out.
Yep.
And by '04 we had the 360. No, wait. No, it was '03. Wait, was it '03? We had the 360 from Deegan and Pastrana, or was that '04?
Um,
Maybe it was '03 in
03.
the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And then '04 would have been Chuck Carruthers, '06 double flip. Yeah, it must have been '03. And did you hear in that part in the video where Metzger was talking about with being with TJ Lavin, and TJ's like, so what
Just
are you
do
gonna
it.
do? You're gonna do a 360? And Metzger's like,
Yeah.
oh no, I should probably do a backflip first.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And he did. Just went and smashed a backy first. Oh, wait. Did Metzger ever do a 360?
I do not think so.
I don't think so either. Don't think he got a 3 done, but I just love how chilled he was and
2003,
saying,
when
yeah,
Travis
2000.
Pastrana and Metal Militia General landed the first 360s.
Yeah.
Think about how fast that went. People just started backflipping,
Yeah.
and
So
instead of
imagine,
doing tricks in backflips, they're like, we're going 360.
yeah, like how nuts is that? And they would have seen all these videos happening at that time. Like Travis and Deegan would have just been watching all this go on, like, oh yep, another dude's got a flip now. Like that takes the tally to 5. Oh, now we're up to 6, and like we've got a 360. Just you wait and see.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Travis would not even ride most of the year and then just practice like a month, lead a month and a half, maybe 2 months leading into X Games and just learn everything everybody was doing.
yeah, nuts, isn't it?
I was like, bro, get out of here.
But I feel like that's still a little bit how it goes now, I think. Like you always come into X Games, like it's about a month before X, and then you start seeing like guys like Jacko or Sheeny or Harry or whoever going, all right, we're gonna knuckle down. It's 1 month to go to X Games. I've got to go learn something.
Yeah, but they're at least riding.
True.
Travis
True.
wasn't even riding most
No,
of
he
the
would have been
year.
riding motocross or something.
Yeah,
Or
or driving cars or something. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to learn super flips or whatever it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I guess
Better go work on a double.
it was later than Super Flip era because he obviously did that way before everybody. But like I do remember years later on where he didn't ride and then he would just you're like Travis can't do it again. We haven't seen anything of him riding at all. And then of course X Games comes out and he's learned everything and you're like, what did he learn it in like the last month and a half? What is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Just pulled his finger out, got the job done. Okay, let's go to X. Is this
Yeah.
gonna work? Maybe that's why his style looked like that. His style was so frantic because he had only just learned it a week before, and he's like, "Fuck, I got to do it now, or I'm gonna forget how to do it."
I
Like
think
this is fresh in the memory bank.
I think even when he rode all the time, he still looked like that.
Exactly.
Although he did calm down later on a little bit, like that Navy Moto X or whatever. Or I think John said maybe he didn't ride that, but that year, like later on when
You mean like when he had like the backflip bar spin and things like that? He was a bit calmer then, I think.
yeah, even then and then after that when he like didn't ride freestyle all the time and he would just
Yeah.
come back in and he rode like a little bit more. He would still get more jumps in than most of the people, but he was not like skidding around like you were saying.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, did you also see that other part in that clip where I think it was maybe it was Metz going for the flip, and in the background was Twitch, just like tilting his head back. I didn't say it at the time. I just saw it. I'm like, oh, there was
Oh
just like this
yeah.
little clip of Twitch just doing that. And I'm like, oh my God, like what we know now. And these dudes were just sitting there watching it, getting pumped on it, and then they're gonna go dominate later.
Yeah.
Like Nate Adams, that dude came out of nowhere.
Well, and
I
the fact
if
that
you're gonna tell me who was gonna beat Travis one and who was then gonna be like one of the most dominant riders in the world, I don't think I would have said Nate Adams from IFMA.
no. When he very first came out, no.
No.
You would have said Dustin Miller
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
or
Yeah.
Drake.
Probably Drake, actually.
I don't
I
know. Dustin was pretty impressive at the IFMAs.
Yeah, but for me, I kind of always thought Drake just because of this. I don't know. I just liked his style, and pretty chilled out, and he was a bit Metzger-esque, a
Yeah.
little bit like kind of just doing his own thing. And I'm like, well, if Metzger, if it works for him, might work for Drake.
If Drake had flipped,
Yep,
are we saying different trajectory there?
probably.
I guess it depends on how early. But either way, I think
Mm,
it keeps him around longer.
yeah, but man, that's the same for all of them. Dane Kennard and Luke
Yeah.
Urich, the two Aussies, they disappeared. Like
Yep.
they didn't flip within 1 or 2 years and went, nope. Then the wheels fell off. Like that didn't work for them. Drake didn't flip.
The only
Slowly.
person that pulled it off for a time, and it was only for a time,
Who's that?
the other TP, Pages.
Oh, yeah. And then he came with a flare in like '07 or '08.
He's like,
Dirt
I'm
flare.
not back flipping, and then he's doing bike flips and all this other shit. And I'm like, dude, you might as well just flip. Like, this is way gnarlier.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been way easier. Like what? Well, actually, man, if you're gonna talk about Tom, that dude, he was doing double heart or double grab flips by like, oh man, I don't know if I can find a video by now, like really
Was that
fast.
Tom
But
or was that Charles?
both of them pretty much within a
Yeah.
day of each other or something, I guess.
Yeah. They were doing gnarly flip tricks right off of the bat.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're the
Straight
ones
in.
that really kind of opened everybody's eyes that all these tricks could be done in flips.
Okay, 2008. Tom became the first rider to do a double grab flip at the World Moto X Championships. But he would have done it at home earlier because I remember watching all those videos. Like him and his brother put up the grainiest videos from like the cloudiest, almost nighttime shot that you could barely tell anything even happened.
I remember that.
Yeah. Except those front flips they did. They did the front flips. There was a lot of work on those fronties. I remember seeing some good footage of that.
Dude,
so
I just like to think about how I think does I would hope so, but I don't know that there's that much talk about how progressive Tom was or how like his place in the sport. Like I don't think he gets brought up like these other guys like Metzger and TP and even I would say probably Deegan in this. And I guess maybe because it's more recent and it's not like the foundation of FMX, but
yeah,
bro.
Exactly right. Tom was he was that next guy, like, dude. Yeah. But it's funny, I'd say, like, Tom didn't get the recognition even while he was doing it.
No.
Until
like
5 years later.
The first body burial he did, when he did it off of the super kicker and they scored him like shit, he comes out next round, throws it off of the regular ramp, and then they gave him a worse score. I'm like, are you guys joking me here? Because you know he's only tried it off of the friggin' super kicker if that's what he was planning on doing it. Yeah. And then he's like, screw it, I'm going off of the big ramp because that's what I have to right now, and lands it. And you guys give him a demerit. Like, crazy.
Yeah, but I guess because, maybe when he was checking into the hotel, they heard this guy speaking French and they're like,
exactly.
Come on, we need to check in. We got to get to our rooms. There's this French dude holding us up. Yeah. Oh, God, it's this guy about to do this special flip. No, we're going to dock him.
So I was at that one too, at that X Games. I was working for Javier. I was being his mechanic. And I told Thomas right after that, I ran into him we were at the bar at the hotel across the street, which I guess he was staying there. And he ends up walking in, and I'm like, Tom, you totally got ripped off. And he's like, you think so? And I was like, bro, you sure? Won that 100%. And he was just like, thank you so much. And that was it. But I just wanted him to know. I was like, there's no way you should have lost that.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Well, that's another chat for another day of X Games.
Judging. Yeah. That'll be a good one.
That'll be a good one to have Chuck on here. We can get Chuck and go, man, what's been happening? Like, tell us how this works, because sometimes we obviously don't get it. But
he usually has good, especially now that he's the head judge. I don't think, obviously then, I'm not sure, he might have been a judge, but he definitely wasn't the head judge. Although I know that some of those years early on, he helped them commentate in the building or something.
Yeah.
I think he was live announcer. He was one of the live announcers. So he may not even been judging at that point.
Yeah. No, but I just mean like he knows what the
criteria are.
Yeah, what the criteria is, what the directives are.
They're like, you have to be smooth, do this, do that, have a monster helmet.
And the guy, it's either 199 or a big M on their helmet. There's only two options. And if it's a battle between the two, I don't know. I guess it's Trav, but
it's true. He's the darling of X Games.
Don't go putting that Target helmet on. Oh no, he won. Oh, Nate Adams won. Man, what a fast timeline. That was sick. I'm pumped.
That's why
watch that.
This era of freestyle was so exciting, and you've gotten to a point where like people are a little bit bored because, like, how hard can you progress stuff indefinitely? I would say these guys have done a good job. I think the bigger ramps and the airbag landings have definitely helped. But yeah, there was definitely some lulls in it where
Oh yeah.
until the the crowd of Aussies that just wanted to go ham came out, and then all of a sudden and New Zealanders.
Yeah, good old Levi. I mean, we claim him as an Aussie whenever we need to. Like if we feel like we're a bit light on with medals from X Games, then Levi's sometimes Aussie.
Yeah.
We just paint little white stars on his flag and claim him. But yeah, there's no way you could ever beat what it was then because the progression was so fast. We just saw it.
Because it was a clean slate.
Yeah, exactly.
We're to the point of triple flips now. It's hard to go to 4.
Exactly.
It's hard to do super triple flips.
I haven't seen a double 360, like 2 actual 360s.
Well, even the thing that Travis did to the airbag
double
at his
back
place.
360.
Yeah, whatever the hell
roll.
it was. That straight bike flip. I wonder, somebody could probably straight bike flip now off the moon booter.
Well, Clinton Moore was working on that.
I know, but I never saw. I did see some.
And he's a dude who can get shit done.
And he's bigger. Yeah. I think that was Lowe's issue with the bike flip.
Yeah.
Is just how small he was. You know, think about, who's big. TP said he was trying it. I would have thought Clinton or even Sheeny. Sheeny's no, I know who needs to do it. You know who I'm thinking now.
Who?
J.O.
Oh.
Just rip it around.
Yeah. Fuck. That's just like doing bench presses or something.
Yeah.
Just rip that thing around. He'd break the handlebars. Hey, actually, speaking of that, I watched a video where Travis was talking about J.O. learning the triple at his house. And he's like, this kid comes over from Australia. He is so built like a brick shithouse. He was snapping handlebars because he was pulling so hard.
Oh my God, dude.
How ridiculous is that?
That's ridiculous.
And that was before Jo got big. Like, he's even bigger now than he was then. Like, the dude is an animal. And I just saw, I could be wrong, maybe I dreamt it, but I'm pretty sure I just saw him put something up on Instagram only a few weeks ago, where he's like, I'm working on something. And I'm like, oh.
Okay, now here's my next thought. The bike, the bikes that they have with the shorter swing arms, lighter, is this not the perfect bike also to do a bike flip?
True.
Because it's going to want to spin faster.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was something
Him
that
or
all
Harry.
of them were missing.
I would say Harry too now, because he's strong enough.
He spent the money. He's got the same bike. Basically, Jo and Harry have near on exactly the same bike. There wouldn't be much difference because they bought the parts from Levi. So
there you go.
And I just saw Levi put his post up on his Shogun Innovations page the other day. Again, actually, he's talking about that bike that he built. I did a 3-hour podcast with him about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And about 1 year ago, I said to him, man, it's been a year since we did that podcast. And he's like, yeah. And how many guys have you seen rebuild their bikes? He's like, I said exactly what I did. I've put pictures out there. I've shown what the bike can do. It's like, how many guys have actually made the change to their bikes? Harry, Jo, triple flips. 2 guys did it. I saw Malero did his own modifications, a little bit similar to what Levi did, but just his own home building.
To what, double flip?
Yeah, well, Malera's doing double flips now, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wants to go for something bigger. I know he's got some new ramps at his place,
Him
so
too.
maybe
He's a little bit small as
he's a
well.
small dude though.
Yeah. So that makes
Uh,
it tough to do like bike flips and stuff like that, I feel
but
like.
what I was gonna say though is I forgot how light Levi got that bike. 87 kilograms. So in
Let's see what
pounds,
that is. Yeah.
let me do a calculation for you, bud, because I know I'm gonna blow your mind. Uh
170.
God damn it, you're already on it.
No, I'm just guessing. Is that right?
Oh, mass kilograms to pounds. What did I say? 87 kilos. 190.
Wow.
But that's with fuel and oil and everything. That's a fully loaded bike.
So then
Whereas
what's Harry's with no friggin' radiators or antifreeze?
no, but like think about when you buy or when you see a bike on I don't know, Yamaha.com or whatever.
Yeah, it's
It's like
dry.
it's dry. So Levi's is 87 wet.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Oh,
It would be better if
this
it
is a
was
little bit. This is a
69
little
wet.
after dark.
Be
But
cooler if it was 69 wet, but you know.
oh, that now that would be a light bike. That man, that's nearly the same weight as my E mountain bike.
They cost the
Oh,
same amount. I guess not with
yeah.
all those
Yeah,
uh
well, don't get me started
not with
on the
all those
cost of that damn
upgrades.
thing.
But mountain
Yeah,
bikes are ridiculous of how much they cost. I'm like,
yeah. Well,
bro,
don't
I'm getting 450 cc's if I'm gonna spend 8 grand on a on a two-wheeled apparatus.
don't get me started. Anyway, I bought it and my hip is happy that I'm riding. That's about
Good.
all I can say. It is fun. It is fun, but I really wish I didn't spend that much money. I didn't spend 8 grand. I only spent four. But still that was 3 grand more than I wanted to spend.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah. No, so with like big airbags now for the future, that was the big progression that we just saw.
Yeah. Yep.
Can
Well, and
we
even pits and
can
stuff.
we get to another level? Because now more guys are getting bags.
Well,
Once
and even the fact that a lot of the shows and competitions are on bags as well, so that now it makes it more feasible to be like, I'm gonna go there and do this versus being like
yeah.
triple flip to a friggin' rock hard dirt landing.
Yeah, this is fantastic if I do it at home, but it means nothing because I
Right.
can't do it anywhere else.
Exactly.
But like I'm having these conversations with the guys where, yeah, we could do a triple flip. Like you give us the right sized competition, like the right sized
Ramp.
stadium or arena, and if there's enough prize money, we're going for it. Like
Awesome.
that's where it's at. And it has to. It
Right.
has to be at that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But not even just that. Like I just yeah, like TP's double back gear 360. I know it's just that, but there's only one that's been done.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be
To
nice.
see someone come out and do that, there's only been one double fronty landed. I don't think too many guys are overly excited about double fronties though.
Shit,
It
no.
doesn't it doesn't look fun.
Single front flips don't look fun.
No, exactly. There's nothing about them that looks
There's no
overly
way I want to
enticing to
come
me.
whipping around to my front wheel that fast.
No. Man, Moto Duff is gnarly.
That's
That
gnarly.
was that was ridiculous. Bruce Cook. Oh man,
Yeah.
what a boss. Just went for it. And then I saw him. He was even in Costa Rica just the other day.
Yeah.
And did a flip at
Yep.
Nitro.
It's the first one in 4 years.
Really? Far out. That's so nuts. So there is still things that can be done. And I think the more the guys get airbags, and I don't want to take away because obviously the people listening to this are freestyle fans, and so are we. But It ain't gonna get fucking better on dirt. That's all I can say.
No.
Like, we kind of hit the peak. You can't do much more without serious injury or death.
Right.
Simple. Hands down.
But I'm
That's
okay with the. I mean, I guess that's a debate, because people are like, oh, it's not as hardcore or whatever. Okay, but it's cool to see these guys, shoot for crazy stuff and not die. I'm
Yeah,
totally down with that. I like that.
that's it. Like what Carey did, what Caleb did, what Metzger did. If they crashed, and they did, there was some big crashes there. It was possible to get away from it most of the time.
Yeah.
Not dying anyway. You don't want to see guys die on TV. And I think like I remember those conversations where X Games were even like thinking of cutting best trick and stuff like that. Like, no, this is just getting too much. Like, we can't show this. These guys keep coming. They just want their gold medal. They're going to
Yeah.
kill themselves for it.
Yep.
And they're like, they even put they. I don't think they ever did put the brakes on, but I
Well,
heard
they
them
swapped
talking
to
about.
quarter pipe.
True.
They did.
Yeah.
Remember, they did quarter pipe best trick because they were saying there was less injuries in quarter pipe best trick, and then Jacko was like, shh, hold my Fosters and watch this. And then he does a double friggin' open loop, goes like 50 feet high, blows his fucking neck apart. And then they were like, oh, okay, I guess we'll get rid of the quarter pipe.
How about that was what would you say? That was like an upper management decision where
Yeah.
they didn't really understand the consequences of their decision. Like,
They,
wow, well, we're gonna put brakes on these guys. Oh, you've given them the steepest ramp you can
yeah,
give them.
yeah. They didn't
Wow.
realize that those guys will find a way to get gnarlier.
That would be an interesting chat. Would be to get Jacko on and talk about that. That was a gnarly year.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to hear what he thought about that. If he even remembers it. He probably doesn't.
He seemed coherent, but what do I know? You can't tell. From the outside, it seems like one thing.
No.
It's just like
I'm
being
sure,
browned out. Like where you're not
I'm
quite fully blacked out drunk.
no. No, I don't know, but I feel like because it did get to that stage and he then became one of the main guys who pushed best trick.
Yeah,
So he had his
100%.
own body varial. He's
Yeah.
got the front flips, and
Yeah.
I think he was the first to fronty a dirt jump as well.
Where was that?
And then spun around and double backy to dirt hit. And I think it was the same dirt hit at his house. It was for like X Games Real Moto. I think he did it. So there's still progression. It's just not what we think of like this. This was very much front and center, whereas now it's a bit different.
Yeah, and we've gotten to a point of its nuances. Flipping a dirt hit, double flipping a dirt hit, doing the biggest dirt hit. Like, it's not as cut and dry as just like, that dude turned his motorcycle upside down.
Hey, damn, boy. He clicked it in the fifth gear and rode towards the railway track.
Did you see? He went upside down. Like, that's easy to just blatantly see. And I think once, like we said, you get to, like think about like snowboarding or whatever. That guy's riding switch. That you got to know their natural style, their unnatural style, like or side. And it's like freestyle got to a point like that where just not everybody could just go, oh shit, he's upside down.
Oh, he's done 3 one-handed indies, one way, back the other, and back the other.
Exactly.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's Mad Mike with his 17 whips.
That's cool. I dig it, but I can see it from 97% of the population going, okay, we got it. And that's why a backflip, a double backflip, a triple backflip is the measure of success. That's why it is easy to understand.
Yes.
Simple as that.
For sure. As far as mainstream and pulling people in.
So what's next?
I guess I'm old and I can't think of anything now. Somebody's got to do a bike flip straight. Colby Gort, you are on a mission right now.
What are we? Are we on a mission to just call names out now and like put
whoever
pressure
we
on?
think could do a bike flip, we need to just start rattling everybody to be like, come on.
I like the idea of you saying J.O. Archer. J.O. or Harry, I think, because those guys proved that they're in it.
Well, their bikes are
despite
perfect.
The pain, and the bikes are already kind of ready to go.
Bikes are already short. They're going to want to rotate faster.
Well, here's one for you. Levi Sherwood. Oh. Pull him out of retirement. Get Levi back on his own bike.
I was going to say that. I was surprised he never, and who's to say that he didn't try it, maybe prior to building the bike, but how old is he now? Is he...
He's still not that old.
That's what I figured, because he came out of the woodwork at like 16.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a guess and say Levi's probably like 32, maybe.
You're in your prime, Levi. Bike flip.
Yeah.
You haven't been riding as much. You're maybe a little bit bigger, a little beefier. Yeah. We need that.
A little more experience. know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Oh, that would be cool. Maybe Tom. Tom can still ride a dirt bike.
I'm sure.
And he's already done it off of a quarter pipe.
Well, I think,
and he made his own adjustments to his bike as well. So yeah. Tom's bike is different. He went for weight savings for sure. It's not the same as Levi's, but I'm sure he's got something going on with that bike that's getting close to like Levi.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Tom's already landed a whole bunch of bike flips off
but
a quarter.
I feel like Tom went to the quarterback bike flip because straight ones weren't working.
Yeah. There's a challenge. David Ronaldo.
Again, small.
Yeah.
And I think
maybe it doesn't matter.
Perfect person. Listen, technique definitely makes up for a lot, but I just think it's going to be really hard for somebody that's that much smaller than the bike. Like a Taka. Taka has a hard time. He doesn't obviously have a hard time flipping, but he pulls the living shit out of it. Go watch a video of him, and he's like full arms and legs extended as far as they will go, and just
he's going for a double flip. No, it's a single.
It's just a regular, because he's about to do a double grab. But it's like, could he pull a double? I don't know, which the way he pulls one. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, I don't know. Who's up? Who's up for a bike flip? That would be interesting. I don't know if I've got a prize for whoever does it. Maybe I'll give him a box of beer back here or something if whoever does it. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
I still think Clinton has a damn good chance. That dude worked on it for a long time. Probably Clinton, to be honest.
I agree.
My number one bet would be Clinton.
That's who I thought was going to do it. I thought for sure one of these years he was going to pop up, but he increasingly does not go to events, which is why I didn't bring him up.
Ooh, but he did go do the Freestyle Kings tour in New Zealand.
How many events?
It's like 4 or 5, I think. That's a big tour for Clinton in the last 4 years or 5 years.
Exactly, but that's my point. If it was young Clinton, I would say, exactly. I would say, how about Adelberg? He needs to shorten his bike up.
Yeah.
Rob, get yourself a short swing arm. And whatever else they did.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the names we're saying, like, all of these dudes are not scared of taking a beating.
My whole thing and why I didn't pull them up right off the bat is just because, and somebody's probably going to be mad at me for this, they are a little older. And they're
Yeah.
not like young guy hungry like they were at 20, 2 or 3
Because
or whatever.
when these dudes were younger, they
Bro, unstoppable.
fucking went for it. That's
Exactly.
it. Yeah. It's actually it. Hmm. You're absolutely right. You're so right.
That's why I'm like, it needs to be somebody new, like Colby, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Somebody that's new hungry, that's like, I
Like
want to.
Javier Villegas. Yeah,
No.
someone new and hungry.
Listen, I love Javier, and he is crazy enough to try it. Although a 450, I would think, would not be your motorcycle of choice.
Don't think that's gonna help.
Unless you just turn the idle way up so that it just rotates
Just
itself around.
exactly, just keeps itself moving.
That's not a bad idea.
No. No, that's a good question. Colby Gord. All right. No,
Like who's
that's
who's
tough.
really messing in the pit right now?
Oof.
Probably this time of year, no one. Is my
Yeah,
but
everyone's quite happy
but
to
who's still
they're still
David?
working off those Christmas puddings, man.
Yeah.
Like it's tough
Ronaldo,
getting
I
down
feel
to
like
January.
Ronaldo is most consistently putting in work
Yeah,
all year out of anybody.
yeah.
And maybe it's
Very
just because
true.
he posts more, but I feel like that's why he's.
Both.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's why he's been doing the stuff he's been doing in the last couple of years, though.
Yeah.
That's another guy that deserves more credit.
For sure.
He doesn't.
I see another French dude that just rolled in and upset
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like Ricky Bobby all over again.
Yeah. Exactly right.
He's like, I'll do
Exactly.
the body burial backflip.
Get out of here.
We're like, you want a crepe?
But it's so true though. Like Ronaldo rolled in and did a backflip body varial. That's near on as close to doing a bike flip.
And then he did as close to Chuck's varial as has been done in 20 years.
Yeah. Fuck it. And I would say right now, just on looking on the outside and talking to him a little bit, he's probably having way more fun and enjoying being on the bike now than he's ever had.
He seems to be.
But he's always got a thing that he always wants to come out and win. So I don't know. Is that like the good and the bad? It's like the
He
one
has been
side
winning, so maybe that's why he's having fun.
What's that? What's that? Sorry.
He has been winning, so
Yeah.
of
Well.
course he's
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I've been watching, obviously, the night of the jumps and everything, and he's like consistently top 2, 3
Yeah.
everywhere at everything.
Yep. Pretty much.
Sounds fun to me.
Yeah. Exactly. No, but like I do remember like when he was getting like a second at X Games or they just didn't realize what was happening. He's like, what are these guys looking at? I'm like, yeah, probably right. Like, sometimes I agree with him, but
you know that everybody thinks that, especially these
but
guys.
the only issue is like you're worried about three people's subjective opinion, but that
it
gives him the
means
fire.
money.
That's his fuel.
Yeah, but those 3 people's opinion dictate how much money he makes that weekend.
Yeah, and then that's his fuel to come back next year and prove everybody wrong.
Surprise,
and that's
surprise,
why he said what he said last
motherfuckers.
year. Exactly, and that's why he said what he said last year. Like that was almost like 5 or 10 years of pent up aggression came out, and man, I even heard some pretty up there people in the industry like, you can't say stuff like that on TV, not on ESPN. I'm like, that was the thing he had to say.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, the dude just stomped something ridiculous. He's kind of felt like it was against him the whole time. he fucking threw it out there. Like, let the dude blow
But you
some
know
steam.
that ultimately it's still the motocross industry, and it's pretty uptight.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
So,
And the
and
people
it's,
I'm talking about come from more the moto side rather than the
well, this is my
freestyle.
point. Every big company comes from the moto side. What really big freestyle motocross only company is there?
Hmm. Uh,
There isn't anything. It's not a big enough market on its own.
yeah. Um,
Go ahead, try to think of something
Rusty
really big.
Demons. I don't know. That's about the
Dirt
only thing
Bike
I could
Kids.
say.
Dirt Bike, yeah,
Nit-
Crusty Demons,
Nitro Circus.
Nitro Circus, but
But they're
that's
all
action
basically
sports.
videos and tours,
And
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 that's it.
that's action sports though. That's not freestyle
Yeah,
motocross.
yeah.
Dirt Bike Kids,
They're-
I would say, is probably
Oh
the
yeah,
biggest
yeah, true. Yeah,
freestyle, like more specific
yeah.
company. They sponsored a friggin' national. It was the Dirt Bike Kids Pala National, dude.
No way.
Yeah.
Far out. That's Billy Big Time right now.
Dude.
That's Billy Big Time. Fuck. That's nuts. Man.
Oh, Militia. But that's not even, I would say Dirt Bike Kids is bigger than Militia now. Militia
Oh,
was for sure the biggest. Who do you think sells more shirts right now?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna say Dirt
I
Bike
haven't
Kids.
bought a shirt in 20 years. I
We would
wouldn't even
need to
know
go
who
to
sells anything.
California to have this debate.
I don't go to shops. I don't
Dude, no,
know.
you just California is a whole nother planet, dude. Because you're like, how
Yeah.
much is the Metal Militia selling, right? And then you go to California and you're like, oh, these people can't all ride. Like this is just a thing that they
Is it
wear out
still
here.
that
I
big?
don't know. That's my
Oh,
point.
okay.
I'm saying we'd have to
Okay.
go now to see if there's just dirt bike kids shit everywhere and like 15-year-old
Yeah, Metal
riding
Militia
Paradise
shirts that are
Lusk
all
shirts
torn out.
still or
Yeah,
what's going
yeah.
on?
That's true, man. Yeah. I'm with you on that one
I would say there's more dirt bike kid stuff at this point that it
for
moved
sure.
into that space of the market and is like the new that is the biggest freestyle
Yeah,
specific brand, I would say.
yeah.
Good job,
Yeah.
Twitch.
Fuck yeah. Good on him.
Fucking stoner.
Fucking killing it. Yeah, I saw you. I saw your little YouTube video today.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh man, no man, I'm digging this video. That was an awesome doco. I think the future still is bright, but I'm interested to see who's going to be the guys to push through. And maybe out of all of this, it's going to be like what we just saw. You would have thought it was going to be Metzger or Deegan or Travis, and out of nowhere came Caleb Wyatt. Maybe the next one, we don't know who it is.
I mean, would you not
Colby
put,
Gord.
I was just going to say, would you not put him
Colby Gord.
into that
There you go.
position of like kind of
Yep.
the underdog
Yep.
that you and I know who he is because like I said, we're balls deep in freestyle, but the average person is like, who is this guy? Meanwhile,
Yeah.
he's KOD flipping to friggin' concrete embankments, dude.
Exactly. Fucking those dirt hits out wherever. I don't even know where those dirt hits are, and he's making them look good.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And he's practicing old school. Got a big metal landing next to his house.
yeah, maybe that's it. I don't want to put too much pressure on the dude, but it could be like that. Like we could just be witnessing
Listen,
history all over again.
I
Caleb
rode
Wyatt, Scott Murray.
I rode with him when he was 17 and he was pretty determined
Yeah,
and like I'm doing this. So so
that's it.
far he has not been proven wrong.
No.
And like I said, as far as Americans that are really he just needs to change that big metal landing into a foam pit there, and we got bike flips.
Oh, there we go. Hey, here's one more name. Pat Bowden.
True. He is Gnar. But how hungry is he still, too? Is he trying to go... Was he in X Games last year? I was questioning that.
Nope.
That he wasn't. Yeah.
Nope. He's never got there.
Never been to X Games? Just Nitro?
I think maybe he did X Games Sydney. So I guess you can call it X Games.
I don't call it X Games. We had this conversation before. It's not the same. Everybody's saving their stuff for US X Games.
I know. So maybe Pat Bowden. Like that dude, I'm sure there is... I know there's fire. I know he's got fire. He wants to... That he can do it. He's done body burials. He's done front flips. He's done
also
double
his
flips.
sidekick, and depending on how focused they are.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right now. Alex.
Oh, pausing.
Yes. He's gnarly as well.
That dude's just on another level in life in general.
Yeah. So I'm like, let's see it.
Let's see it. There we go, boys. It's on.
Our picks for next, we're saying bike flip, but just next crazy innovation.
Whatever it is.
Those are our picks right now of the people that seem hungry and still... I mean, I guess that's the thing. Young enough where they're still hungry enough to try and do something. And that's not to discredit anybody else, but those guys already did a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to a point where you're like, let me slow.
Risk versus reward.
Yeah, exactly.
and you don't realize that until you kind of get there. So
exactly.
Yeah, you kind of know. You can tell, you can feel it, and you can see it. But hey, I love being proven wrong, and I get proven wrong pretty often.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, that would be... How cool would it be if somebody we mentioned, Clinton or Rob, or somebody just popped up next year with something? And I'm saying those guys because we haven't seen a ton of progression. I guess Rob... You know what, now that I think about it, Adelberg is still pushing with the front flips and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess he just doesn't post anything during the year, so you can't really tell what's going on. If he was working on a bike flip, he wouldn't be posting it anyway. So...
Exactly. No, Adelberg lays low. He's pretty quiet kind of dude. He keeps his big mouth shut until the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I think that was awesome. So I'm interested to see what happens in I'm sure it's not far away for something big. So
yeah,
like I said,
I'm
some
excited.
of these guys, they're already working on it.
Somebody's watching this and like, you boys wait.
Yeah. Just shut up.
Guys don't know.
And just I like that's what I said before. Deegan and Travis would have been watching these guys doing flips going, just you fucking wait. We're about to 360 this. So, yeah.
So you've seen the video, right? Travis posted, which I do remember this, a very small clip of him coming off of the ramp to 360. And Deegan saw that before X Games and then figured it out. But otherwise, if Travis hadn't have posted that, it would have
been Travis's game. He would not have had to worry about Deegan.
Yeah, which Travis won anyway, but...
Time out!
Dude, if you read the rules and you know to do that, good on you.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. He got it. He called it.
He's pretty slick with that stuff. He's pretty smart.
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
All right.
It's after 1 o'clock again for me here. So
go to sleep. Why are you up so late?
Because we're watching freestyle, man. So that's why I'm here. You know what I'm going to do before we go? I'm going to do a very quick clap into my microphone because I'm recording here. You're on Rumble. I'm going to take this audio. I'm going to make a Writers Lounge podcast out of that last little bit. And I want to know where I'm going to sync my audio. So I'm going to give it a clap.
There you go.
Sweet. I'm going to cut it out of mine and it's live on yours. Sorry, bud.
I didn't even hear it.
Shoot.
Try it
Well,
again.
I hope I'm not going to do it anyway. Hopefully, I'll be able to see it. I'm sure I'll see a spike in the audio later on. So
Hopefully.
there you go.
All right. Thank you guys. Oh, we're working on getting Matt Byton to watch his epic battle with Jeremy McGrath in Step Up with us. So.
Oh, is that this Sunday?
Well, I'm
or
trying. Let
next
me get back
Sunday?
with him and double check and make sure everybody's good. And then once we have that nailed down, we'll definitely promote it because I'm sure, especially if it's on a weekend and we got by 10 on here, I'm sure we'll get a lot of people hopping on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to get biting on. And also, I think there's an amateur comp going on over in America, right?
That's right. I do cut it and put it in sometimes. But yeah, April 19th and 20th, we're having the amateur freestyle motocross contest with a demo. It's actually a festival, 2 days. Freestyle is only on Saturday. Friday, we think we're going to do, well, we are doing a mini bike race, and now we think we're going to do mini freestyle.
Oh, yeah.
On the super kicker to a full-size airbag landing. And
Nice.
then the top couple of finishers with that will get to do a best trick contest Saturday night during the freestyle motocross contest. So
hell yeah. That sounds cool. I'm up for that.
So go to twowheels2freedom.com. I got the tentative schedule up right now and the link to all the tickets for just regular access, camping, events, stuff like that. So please get out. We're going to have a lot of fun. Oh, we're also going to record one of these live. Do at least a live podcast. I'll talk to some of the riders from the amateur contests and stuff like that. So you get to come and hang out while we actually record.
That's going to be awesome, man. Can't wait.
We need
Thanks
to figure out
on.
internet so that way we can get you beamed in if you can't make it.
Man, I've got this cable here that I've just drilled through the floor from upstairs to downstairs. I'm on cable now.
Your internet's not the problem. We're going to be in the middle of a field.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah,
South
it's your
Carolina.
No, actually, it'll still be my problem. I'm still on German internet, which sucks. But yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
We're out, everybody. Later.